Hi friends! I have not made a YouTube video in quite a while, but I promise that I have some pretty good reasons why I didn't. First, I have been busy planning and going on a huge European trip with my dad. We had the best time. I didn't film anything for YouTube because I really wanted to be in the moment with my dad and just experience it and not have pressure of making a YouTube video. But I did post a lot about it on my Instagram, so you can go over there if you want to take a look at pictures. But in much bigger news, I also moved. Obviously, this is not the apple orchard house. I didn't have a deck there. So this is my new place. So for context, my friend and my landlord who owned the apple orchard house, who I was renting from, decided that he wanted to sell the house. And I wasn't upset at all, actually. I was pretty sick of living in the middle of nowhere and wanted to move closer to things like being within 10 minutes of an Ollny. That stuff I really took for granted when I moved away. And so I wanted to move close to my hometown and to civilization again. So right after my friend and landlord told me that he was going to sell within the next few months, I went inside and just quick Googled like places for rent. I had looked briefly online multiple times throughout the year to see if there was anything that would be good for me, and there wasn't anything at all. And when I looked just when I was supposed to, when he said he was going to sell the house, this place popped up and it is perfect. It's a 1960s ranch house, which a lot of that places for rent are apartments or new houses. So this is just my style, and it has a huge backyard and it has a clothesline. It's got a basement for all of my decor. It allows cats, which is a big thing. If you're a renter, you know how hard it is to find a pet-friendly place to live. Plus, it's within 10 minutes to all major grocery stores, which is the #1 thing I wanted, and it's close by my family. And it's in the country still. In my backyard, there's a herd of cows, which is really adorable. So I get the country living, but still living close to the city, which I love. And very exciting for me, I moved in with my boyfriend, Joshua. And so we're pooling our money together to rent this place. So that's why I can afford a bigger place that has like a basement and a garage and everything. I honestly love it so much more than the apple orchard house. That house served its purpose and I loved living there, but this is way more my speed. Now that you have some context about why I'm here, let's go inside and see my dining room to see how I'm decorating for Halloween this year. And here we have my dining room and Vera. She needs some attention right now, so hope you don't mind. She also wanted to say happy Halloween because it's her favorite season, isn't it? Happy Halloween! I don't know if people are going to think this is lame, but this is all the same furniture that's been in every place that I live. I buy furniture very intentionally, and I feel like social media really makes this pressure happen about that whenever you live in a new place, you have to like buy new furniture and buy a new couch and buy new stuff. And I don't know why. I mean, I was just talking with my dad when we were in the Netherlands, and he told me that when he was a kid, his mom and dad, they moved from the US to the Netherlands to the United States, and they packed up all their furniture in a giant crate and shipped it on a boat back and forth internationally. And so the fact that my Oma and Opa kept all their furniture in between intercontinental moves, I just think is crazy. And so I think it's really lame that in society now, and I don't mean to rant, but that we feel this pressure to buy all this new furniture all the time. So in other words, I'm saying this is the same stuff that I have every year. It's just placed a little bit differently. So here's all my same vintage stuff. Here is my awesome Halloween tree that I got at a thrift store actually, and it's pretty valuable. I just bought it because it was cool. And then I have, these are orange Christmas ornaments that I just decided to use for Halloween only. I think they look really festive. I do have little lights on here that make it extra special, little fairy lights. And then over here, I have this mirror that I made myself. It is made out of a piece of wood and then a mirror that I think I thrifted, and some vintage wallpaper. I made a blog post all about how I made that, so I will link to that below. I did bring my really cool vintage rug. Hi, Vera. And I brought it with me. It is my absolute favorite. I bought it on eBay. Isn't it so pretty? It's really big and it's really durable. I mean, I have cats, so they throw up on it. But I love it, and I got it on eBay for really cheap. If you didn't know that, eBay and Etsy are great places to buy vintage rugs. I will link to those below if you need to get a new rug. As far as what's on this shelf, not much of this is different. I always style it differently. But then I got this at a flea market this year for only $1. It's not even vintage. It's just a little block calendar, which this isn't even the right date. I need to change it. But that's like the only thing new on here. I made a bunch of these cool little Halloween printable craft things. I have a bunch of items like that. Like these I made out of cheese puff containers. So I will link to this craft if you are interested in making thie. It's fun and affordable decor, especially because you get to upcycle stuff that you already have. Like this was a tiny little pie cardboard box. You can even see right here. It was just a little pie box from the grocery store. And I wrapped it in yellow wrapping paper, and now I love putting this out every year. If you want to learn more about the vintage items that I have on this shelf and throughout my whole house, I did a deep dive YouTube video into valuable vintage Halloween collectibles, and I will link to that YouTube video because there is just so much to get into when it comes to vintage Halloween stuff. And I've talked about it before, so I will link to that video if you haven't seen it yet. On the other side of my dining room is this hutch that I've had, for 10 years. I got it at an antique mall for $200. And my mom said whenever I'm sick of it, she gets it. So she has dibs. But yeah, I just have a lot of, like these items I keep out year round. I love my Merry Mushroom collection. I don't have them out at Christmas, but I keep them out in the spring and summer. And then I like to use them in the fall especially. I did get these Black Cat Dixie cups. I got them at a flea market. So that's probably the only new thing that I have on here. Oh, and my mom gave me this Hocus Pocus tea towel. I think she thrifted it, which I really like. Now, before we move on to the living room, it is already October, and I normally decorate outside way before October. I normally decorate in August or September, but I'm really behind because I was in Europe. So we really need to rectify that. So let's go outside and decorate for Halloween. Now, of course, I will be decorating with my blow mold pumpkins. It wouldn't be my house if I didn't decorate with vintage blow molds. But besides that, I did receive these awesome outdoor lights from Ollny. I've worked with Ollny multiple times. Every string of lights that I've gotten from them, I've absolutely loved. And these ones are extra special because they are spider webs. And I've never decorated with string lights before for Halloween. I normally only do blow molds. So this is going to make the house extra special. Not to mention, this is the first time I'm going to decorate the outside of this house. I don't know when the last time I had decorations. So this will be really fun. Josh came out to help me decorate the front of the house, just like he did last year when I hung up my Christmas lights from Ollny. Thank you, Josh. Thankfully, he fully supports how I decorate for Halloween. He loves how I put things together, though he does not like this one spooky witch die cut that I have hanging in the kitchen. But I don't care. I still put it up. Anyway, these lights from Ollny are a full lit design and they are waterproof, which is a must for the fall. They're going to be purple, which will be really groovy. I love colorful lights. And when I was a kid, I used to love looking out of the car windows and seeing which houses put lights out for Halloween and Christmas because those were the cool houses. And I promised myself that when I was older, I was going to be a cool house to decorate for Halloween and Christmas. And I still do that. I make sure to do it every year. But at the Apple Orchard house, my house didn't face the road. So I wasn't really able to do it, which was a total bummer. But this year, I'm right on a pretty busy road, and across the street are like 4 kids. They're really young, and so it makes me happy that I'm decorating and so they get to see it for Halloween. I did get a bunch of pumpkins at a farm stand close by, so I'm going to decorate the front steps. And since I'm decorating so late in the season, I did decide to skip buying mums this year, which I've never skipped buying mums. But this house already has a bunch of mums in the front yard, so that worked out. Plus, I always kill my mums, so I don't think they're going to be too upset that I didn't buy any. Okay, now let's see what the house looks like at night. Oh, it looks so spooky, but it doesn't look scary. Just festive enough. And if you want to get your own spiderweb lights, there's going to be a link in the description along with a 20% off code. Thank you so much to Ollny for sponsoring this video. All right, we are moving on to the living room, which has a very different layout from any living room I've ever had. I mean, the living room itself is a very normal living room, but I decided to do something different with the couch. I saw this Instagram video that said, rich people never have their couches up against a wall, which I thought was very interesting. Not that I'm trying to appear rich, because look at all my secondhand furniture. But it did make me think that I've never put my couch anywhere but on a wall. And so I wanted to challenge myself when I moved here to see if I could come up with something different. And oh my gosh, I love it, because this is where I sit when I work from home. And so I get this awesome view of my fireplace, of my big window, and then I have the front door open, and so I can feel a breeze go through the kitchen, and then I can see through the French doors to the backyard. It is like the perfect setup. And normally this desk would just be up against a wall, and I would just stare at a wall all the time. So this is way better. I am definitely going to do this again, if I ever move, but I don't plan on moving for a while. But yeah, if you're looking to freshen up your living room, give it a try putting your couch somewhere else, because it really is life-changing. This is the other side of my living room, so you can see a bit more of the layout. And this is my beautiful fireplace that I looked it up. I've had for 7 years now. So it's an electric fireplace. I moved it here. It's not a part of the house or anything. But this old girl has really lasted me and brought me so much joy. I grew up with a fireplace. I grew up in a 1970s ranch house, and we had like a brick fireplace that was wood burning. And I loved that fireplace. And I've never been lucky enough to live in a house that had another fireplace like that. So I spent a pretty penny. It was like $500 on this electric fireplace on Amazon, because I really liked it because it had a big mantle. So it made me feel like it was a real fireplace. I thought about it for a really long time, and I was like, oh, am I going to regret buying it? And I never have. It makes me so happy. I love it in the fall. It's so cozy, and then it's great for hanging stockings at Christmas time. I will link the fireplace below if you're in the market for a fireplace. Now time for the elephant, the spider in the room. I can't get it to hang the right way. But anyway, I love this crepe paper honeycomb die cut thing going on in the living room. I've never done anything like this before. I bought a lot of vintage Halloween stuff, and inside it was this rolled up, old as dirt crepe paper. I mean, like super old. Like I started unraveling it and it was like disintegrating. And I was like, I mean, what am I going to do with this? It's not going to last. And so I hung it up here. I'm guessing someone hung it up once before and then they rolled it back up very neatly to reuse it. And some of the vintage Halloween items that were in that lot, including that cat die cut up there, are from the 1930s. So this crepe paper could be from the 1930s. It certainly seems that way. It was crazy old. But it's just plain crepe paper. So once I take it down, I don't think it's going to last again. So I'm probably just going to throw it out. But I'm glad that it got to be used one more time, and it looks very festive. And these die cuts here, plus this one, I love die cuts. If you want to learn more about them, I did a deep dive video all about the history of die cuts, what they are, what ones are valuable, and you can find that video on my channel. Now, this is really special. I had posted on my Instagram, I think, that I'm trying really hard to be selective about what I'm buying, and something that I'm really focusing on buying is vintage artwork, specifically vintage crewels, because I love them. But if you see them at like antique stores, they're quite expensive, normally a minimum of $35, which is too steep for me. And so I'm just patiently collecting them, and it takes a really long time. But one of my very sweet subscribers sent me a message asking if she could send me this crewel because it was too big for her. She didn't realize how large it was, which it is quite big. Maybe you can't tell in the video, but it's pretty big. But it's perfect for in here, and it's awesome for fall, and it's especially special to me because I remember going on walks with my mom, and she would forage for these Chinese lantern plants, and she would dry them out, and then we'd have them decorating our house. So this crewel reminds me of my mom. So I really, really love it. So thank you for sending it to me. Besides that, just got my normal decorations here. Got my super cute little Snoopy rotary phone. Hello. And then here, I don't really think I have anything new. Just lots of old stuff that I love. Oh, I did thrift this this really cool Dutch oven, and I actually use it quite regularly, but it's too cute not to decorate with. Lastly, this is Shadow. This is my boyfriend's cat. She is a cutie patootie. That's why I have 2 cat trees. You want to get down? I put her down. She's a little shy, aren't you? She is a chonky girl. My boyfriend found her as a kitten. She just showed up at his door, and because she was a stray, she has a problem with overeating whenever there's food, because she didn't have food when she was a little kid. So, but now she's got stairs to run downstairs and 2 kittens, and they all love to chase each other and play. So she's being very active now, which is great. Speaking of that, if you ever need it, if you ever are introducing 2 cats or 3 cats or just new cats in general, there's an amazing YouTube video that I followed to a T, and it works great because I've got 2 kittens, and then Shadow is a bit older, and so I didn't know if it would work well, and this YouTube video is great. His name is Jackson Galaxy. I'm sure you've heard of him. So I will link to that YouTube video just in case you ever need it. It just makes everything more peaceful, and now they're all best friends, and Shadow and Vera, they know that they're black cats, and they have a black cat club, and they're celebrating Halloween right now, and it is just so fun. Anyway, the only thing left to do is play with my Ouija board, but not really, because I'm way too scared to do that. But that's my tour. I haven't decorated anywhere else in the house. But if you want to like see my bedroom or see any other part of the house, or if you have any questions about my move, please leave them in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching, friends. Happy Halloween!